Okay. Hey Legends, this is Magnus. Just recording gameplay just in case I say something while I'm playing. Okay, new chapter just came out for Microbot Mayhem. Win the race and stun two opponents. Okay.
I promise to do all I can, of course.
So, of course, now that I'm recording, I start, my brain goes blank. And now I have less to say for some reason. But just thinking randomly, today's June 13th, and the YouTuber Saber Spark put out a video apparently saying, like, I'm certain it's an explanation on why he hates live action remakes, and yeah, that's it. He's fully entitled to his opinion, and those who feel the same, I can understand. But I'm person, like, for me, there's not much I can get out of a video like that. So because I personally enjoy and see value in all of the remakes up to this point. So me, like, watching the video for me wouldn't add any other than like seeing his side on things and stuff, like, but like that's it, the most I think I would get out of it, because otherwise it's like he's already stated how he feels about the Lion King 2019 remake, which he stated he couldn't even get through watching it on streaming. So I'm like, and that's one of my absolute favorite. It's one of my absolute favorite remakes made. So there's not much I'm gonna get out of. Nothing much I'm personally gonna get out of a video like that. So I'll just personally skip it. But in other news that at least I've heard of so far, Pixar apparently announced a new original movie called Gato, about a black cat that it takes place in Italy, similar to Luca, and it's about a black cat that comes across a gang leader of sorts. So that's all that they've shared on X, Twitter, and YouTube and stuff. So already it's like it's a new Pixar movie. Yeah, I'm down. I'm in. So I look for, and at least we know it's announced. And it's releasing, I think, in theaters in 2027. So we're not gonna see a teaser trailer or official trailer until probably 2026. But at least we know that's coming. So it's great to know that while I personally have no problem with sequels and stuff, it's nice to know we still get some original stuff here and there, with like Elio next week. So excited for that. Hoppers, there's when I think that comes out in 2026.
We can do this.
And now Gato, so that's nice to know. Not just nice, great to know.
I promise to do all I can.
Oh, I'm ready to do some serious racing.
I knew you had great taste.
So okay, this map just made me think of the Monsters Inc. ride coming to Hollywood Studios, and I'm excited for that because it seems like one of the the ride that kind of hangs a bit. so it hangs a bit, almost like I know of rides that do this, and I'm trying to think which one has a multitude of rides have this seat format, but now I can't think of it. But it's the kind where it's like almost from the side it looks like a J, where you sit in the seat, and it's made mainly for like being able to sway side to side, which I'm certain is what this ride is going to do, because ever since Monsters Inc. came out, the big door factory sequence has always been like something that is prime material for a roller coaster in my eyes. And I'm hoping that it does feel intense. I'm hoping that it does feel intense. I know kids are gonna get on it, so you can't have it too. You can't take it too far, arguably. But to me, it's like have it be a little more intense. Seeing as how we have Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios anyway, or what's going to be the Muppet ride, like an Electric Mayhem ride, right? Once it's renamed, it's like we can have more intense rides at Disney, in my opinion. Ooh, matter of fact, that came to another idea that I had like a few weeks ago. Oh, okay, I found something found something else to talk about. Okay, so a few weeks ago, a coworker of mine, just out of like, I forget what conversation like a number of us were having at the time, but he just said like Disney should make an adult themed park, or a park solely for adults, no kids and stuff. And I'm like, I definitely see the appeal. I definitely see the appeal for Disney adults and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know a move like that would somehow, some way get certain people, like certain like probably parents and stuff, upset. But it's like I'm certain there's people out there who would be, for lack of a better phrase that I can't think of right now, would be down for it. I would be, because heck, like on Disney cruise ships, there are adult only clubs, adult only zones and stuff. So that would be a great idea to me. Now, in terms of how it would work, like I was thinking for a bit on how this could work. In order to do an adult-only park, I'd say you have to center in on its adult only, and I'm not just in terms of content per se, like with saying you have to have adult-themed content on it in order to, like, sure, that's the most obvious way to do it, but I think one way you can do it is by with the rides that you do, have it be more intense stuff and have scary rides. For example, if you're going to do Monsters Inc., do it in a theme where it's like it's actively scary. Nightmare Before Christmas or Pirates of the Caribbean, do it where it's like it's made to be scary and not suitable for young kids to ride. like now arguably it doesn't have to be like Cedar Point level, but like at least near around Six Flags and stuff, or at the very precipice of Cedar Point level roller coasters. And then another way to do it,
Time for a new adventure.
another way to do it would be having a few more like alcoholic drinks that can, obviously.
I can do this.
I would say keep like the restrictions they have on smoking and vaping and stuff. Keep that. To me, keep it because sure, some adults will say it's an adult park, we might as well smoke and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't mean all adults want to smoke throughout a park and smell like the smell smoke or afterhand smoked breath. Like, it's already going to be a lot dealing with, it'll undoubtedly be a lot dealing with alcohol breath. Don't add smoke breath to it. So, and then to bring people in, I think you have to add, okay, I would say, like, for the adults, because I think you have to center in a little bit, like more so you see classic movies and stuff first, and then newer stuff a little bit later. Whereas the parks themselves can be more centered toward the newest stuff in a way, instead of the older stuff, if that makes sense. For example, you could have events or actual like games, like have it almost like a carnival where it's like there are games themed around Robin Hood where you're doing archery, or Hero's Duty. Literally, make Hero's Duty either an active game or do a ride, or an immersive experience based on no, I keep wanting to say Call of Duty, Hero's Duty, goodness.
I really enjoyed
But
that.
so let's see what else, because I would almost say do it in, like, you'd have to do it in a theme. I haven't been to Epic Universe, so I don't know how that plays out, but like, you hammer in on this is a place for adults to go and eat. You could call it Pleasure Island. You could call it Pleasure Island based on Pinocchio. Then let's see.
I'm prepared for whatever happens. I don't bite, but my hair might. This is new.
Let's see.
I really appreciate this. This is new. Just so you know, I love. Oh, I'll definitely wear this well. Oh my!
I'm about to revolutionize the racing. Oh, this is perfect. Took long enough. Finally.
Yeah, I'm running low.
That's without.
That's gonna cost too much.
Oh, I'm ready to do some serious racing.
Okay, grind pipe. All right, sorry. Like, for example, the Monsters Inc. ride. If you add the Monsters Inc. ride to the adult park, make it like a more intense version of it. Like, make it more intense than what Hollywood Studios will have. What's another one? you could arguably have Test Track or um, Tron Light Cycle Run. Just more faster, more intense. Um, Now, I may not be somebody who rides the ride often, but Haunted Mansion, you could like center in on that actually being scary because, of course, Disney isn't they don't do typically like doing the scary stuff. But for if they want to make an adult theme park, they can hammer in on being actively scary. Darn it! Tried passing Wally only to still get stalled. Woo, that was close. Let's see. What else? If you want, I forget. Maybe Disneyland is where no, Disneyland I think is where the Who Framed Roger Rabbit like themed ride is. They could do something themed around. Darn it. They could do something themed around Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Jessica Rabbit. They could do a Hunchback of Notre Dame themed ride. Disney villains, and with Disney villains really hammer in on
I'm about to revolutionize the racing
really
industry.
like hammer in on villains, because I would say like at most I think other than Phantasmic and the Phantasmic show and the new villains show at Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom, like the villains don't. Okay, that's not true. I think the villains are getting a new themed area in one of the parks. I think, if I'm thinking or remembering correctly, but in a adult themed or 18 up. Okay, wait a minute. Rules. So, I think to make it legal, I think, or make it fair, I think they would have to go with 18 years and up. Even though, I guess I'm one of the main people who feel like 18 isn't like really an adult. Like 21 and up, that's when you're an adult, at least to me. But with 18 and up, I think Disney would have to put like a few rules in specifically to mitigate the college students and high school graduates. Because while this spot would be for you, this is not a place where you just get drunk, party like crazy, and act totally stupid. And harkening back to the older films getting prevalence in the adult park, or let me just call it Pleasure Island, you do movies like Great Mouse Detective, have Great Mouse Detective stuff in there, referencing, for example, Professor Ratigan, or the Let Me Be Good to You song. Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Why Don't You Do Good, or Jessica Rabbit's song in the movie. Then let's see what else. Pirates of the Caribbean can have a heavy
Ready to do some serious
heavy
racing.
relevance in that park.
You can dream it.
This is fun.
Hold on, let me get some more upgrade points. I'm sorry, let me get some more upgrade points before I spend more.
I take my duty very seriously.
And then let me try and
Hang the code and hang the rules. I'm a shall we be off?
let me dash into a few more opponents. Hercules. We could have Hercules mode or Hercules area or themed ride,
On any of you. I hope you know that.
where you're either riding on, for example, Pegasus. I think since Animal Kingdom's getting renovated, wait, I need to dash into opponents, and I need to stop going on speed pads. Let me catch up. Yeah, I think the dinosaur ride is either going to be remodeled or removed entirely. Because of that, they could put dinosaur in this hypothetical pleasure island. And then, okay, as a weekend nod to Lilo and Stitch series fans, you can have stuff. You can have more of the experiments. You can have like an area for the Lilo and Stitch experiments. And in doing this, that also means I actively acknowledge, like, in order to do this, you have to put stuff in this park that you can't get anywhere else. You have to put stuff in this park that you can't get anywhere else. And yeah, some people say that's having us feel left out. That's the point. Like, this pleasure island needs to be almost like a coming of age experience, where it's like, when you get to go to this park as an adult, you feel like you've entered into a new world. Because as I've learned, adulting is hard. Adulting is hard. And sometimes I don't want to be here, man. I miss I even miss high school. And I had a great high school experience in my opinion. Like, I miss high school sometimes because of how simple it was as compared to now. So it's like, this park can serve as not just because the parks themselves will be your childhood, but for example, Magic Kingdom to me, apart from like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which I recently rode for the first time, and Tron, like, there are few rides that feel like they're mainly for little kids. They're mainly for little kids. Or if you've never been to Disney and you just have to ride it, like Small World. So because of that, the adult themed rides should be these sets of rides that you can't either, like with the Monsters Inc., for example. Granted, you've ridden this hypothetical ride or ride that will be here in Hollywood Studios before, but you haven't rode this ride to this extent. Like, this park would need to have stuff that you can only find there. For example, like I said, with the classic stuff of great mouse detective. Rescuers, you could have a rescuers down under, for example, ride where you're flying on the eagle and it feels like you feel the sensation of hanging onto an eagle's feathers, and the wind is in your face. If you want to do a Wally themed ride, you could do it where you're basically doing what Wally did, grabbing onto a rocket, and just like Mission to Earth or Mission to Mars, that ride in I think it's in Epcot. Yeah, that one's in Epcot. You feel the pressure of being launched into space. And like I would almost say add a little more intensity to that. Add more intensity to it because what I like what I wouldn't want is for this park to be open and people say like I was expecting more intense rides, but this is mostly the same as any other park. I don't want that. I would want people to say like if this is adults only, like teenagers under the age of 18 and kids aren't allowed here, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And I would say like it can't be a half-baked made park. It would need to be a big one. It needs to have it has to be big. Like it has to be just as big as the other parks. And I think probably another way you could make it exclusive is that have that be the only park that closes at midnight. Like it closes at midnight and special events or magical hours take it to 1 a.m. Like on average, like the base closing hour is midnight, and then magical hours and stuff like that or special events bring it to 1 a.m. maybe a little after. But because all the other parks, Animal Kingdom closes around 6 and magical hours depending on the date can push it to 8. Epcot I think is 9. Hollywood Studios I think is 9 as well. Magic Kingdom I think closes either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and magic hours depending on the day can go to 11. So having the adult park go to midnight or 1 o'clock would be
Flynn has taught me well.
would be special to that one. And then as the centerpiece or the marketing like image, like Magic Kingdom of course is Cinderella's castle, Epcot is Spaceship Earth, Hollywood Studios is y'all gonna hate me that I can't say the name. Darn it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Animal Kingdom is the Tree of Life. Hollywood Studios is you know the ride, and I just can't remember it now. I'll have to put it in the comments and say, hey, what ride it is, because shocker, I've never ridden it, but I've seen it so many times. Oh man, okay. but like, okay, the mascot like centerpiece of the park could be. It would need to be something that screams adult, but also something that has Disney, like something Disney and adult at the same time. And I think it can't, like, okay, the a mascot character of it, I'll think of that in a second, but a building structure that could fit that. I almost would want to say like a skyscraper. I would almost want to say like a skyscraper could do it. It like a building that's meant to look like a skyscraper, but it's also looks like a Disney castle, like a castle that looks like a skyscraper that looks like a castle. But I think there are other things that could work. Like it would need to be like some kind of structure that gives off the impression of Disney but also adult, like something that I don't know, I can't think of it right now. If y'all have any ideas on it, please let me know, like if you have a concept. And then mascot character, like how Figment is the mascot for Epcot, Mickey Mouse is more so the mascot of Magic Kingdom. Well, also the Orange Bird can be a mascot of sorts for Epcot as well. Animal Kingdom, I don't know if Animal Kingdom has a mascot per se, because it's all animal life. At most, maybe you could say Lion King in characters. Then Hollywood Studios, I don't know. I don't know about that one either.
We can do this together. I'm prepared for whatever happens.
I'll hit every curve you throw at me.
Deal.
Like, I don't know. But for this Pleasure Island, you could either have it be, I don't know about Pinocchio. For Pleasure Island, you could either have the shady businessman, like who was over Pleasure Island in Pinocchio. You could have him be the mascot, or as you see, I'm driving Hades, have a Disney villain. Ooh, either the shady businessman from Pinocchio or Pete. Either have one of those two be the mascot. Dang it, I need to dash into opponents so I forget this stuff. No. Like, if you have Pleasure Island be this place, like, run by villains, have it run by villains, that could honestly work. Like, you could arguably still have like the hero characters in the park, but because it's run by villains, that's what makes it more exclusive. And they're always hosting like these events by different villains, like Hans of the Southern Isles, whether you like it or not, could host an event. Gaston can host an event. And Hades host an event, stuff like that. That could be cool. So I forget his name. Like the shady businessman from Pinocchio be the mascot of Pleasure Island, or Pete, one of the two. Or if you want to have it be, Mickey, have it be the version of Mickey from the infamous, I forget, Twisted Minds? I forget what it is, like the Twisted Minds? Like, Saber Spark, like, informed me of this, of the animated clip. And from that point, I never heard of it. No, are you serious? He was, when did he get in front of me? Great, now I gotta do this again. But like now I gotta look up the animation thing, the name of it again. But like it's basically this short where Mickey and a Frankenstein's monster Pete switch brains, and the hijinks from that ensue, where it's like Mickey has this monstrous appearance. So those three, honestly, can work. Now I'm certain somebody would probably say have maybe Stitch be the mascot. I'm like, nah, he may be a mischievous delinquent, but if you give him his own park or something, it should, if anything, be Aulani. It needs it, like, it would have to be Hawaiian. Like, I would rather it be a Hawaiian park than just give him the adult theme park, because yes, adults love him, but kids love him too. Like, he doesn't per se scream like adults. If anything, but even then, Leroy can be a character who hosts an event. So to host this Pleasure Island, either be Pete, shady businessman from Pinocchio, or Twisted Minds Mickey. One of those three is what I would pick. No. I need to get one more. Come on. Unfortunately, I gotta let you pass me in order to do it. No! I didn't mean it like that. Alright, now. Alright. And it can have exclusive food. Either, well, okay. I mean, each park has their own kind of exclusive food anyway, but it can have its own like food stuff. Emperor's New Groove could be over there. Emperor's New Groove. Ooh, the pull the lever kind of ride. That would be nice. That would be nice. Like, say if it's almost like a slide, an adult level slide, where it's like you have to pull a lever, and depending on which one you pull, you get a different slide, slightly different slide result.
We can do this together.
They could make a, like, that would be nice. That would be cool.
I promise to do all I can.
Heck, like keeping it, like, for example, it could be like Pleasure Island can be mostly villain themed and have one heroic section.
Hi, everyone.
Have one heroic section per se. Okay? Or have, or if it's going to be, or have a section themed for adult, or have a villain section of the adult theme park the way that I was saying. Like, I would say that because Pleasure Island, yes, Pinocchio is popular. It is. Do not get me wrong. But because it's not per se, because Pleasure Island isn't. Darn it! I gotta be in the slipstream. Are you serious? Because Pleasure Island may not be at the forefront of people's minds until it per se is announced, for example. Like, you could call it Pleasure Island. And have Treasure Island, Treasure Planet, and Atlantis themed stuff there. Like, the villain area can be probably, yeah, now that I think about it, for example, like, if it's going to be adult themed, have either Twisted Minds Mickey be the mascot of the villain section, or Pete, like, have the businessman or Pete as the mascot of the entire park, but have someone else be the mascot of the villain area. And the reason I say that is because I'm certain that along with the villain themed stuff, people couples, for example, would want like the romance in there. So have a section dedicated to like couples and romance and love in a section of the park. Like, say you want to like karaoke or have your own At Last I See the Light, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, I See You, Bella Notte, Love Will Find a Way, what else? I didn't know I could feel this way, Kiss the Girl, like all these different love songs, Whole New World. Have a section where you can have that exact moment for you and your loved one. I think that would be cool. Do I want to finish this? Do I want to finish this today? Let me have something to come back to. I still need to. I can do a few more of those. And I can't get any more from there. Yeah, I can win a few races. Let me go back to Lilo. Dang it.
Is it sandwich day already? Let's do this.
What else? Because Galaxy's Edge already exists, I think you could keep Star Wars there. Keep it there, and in Star Wars Launch Bay at Hollywood Studios. Keep it there. And if they were going to, I would rather they make a full-on Star Wars themed park than to add it to the adult, to Pleasure Island. Me personally, As for Marvel, I almost feel the same. I'd rather they make a new park or add it to another one than put it in the adult one, because to me, Pleasure Island could be this mainly Disney and Pixar. It could be this Disney and Pixar park for adults. Like, that's how I at least feel. If y'all disagree with me, that you are welcome to do so, and explain why you feel Star Wars should be added to this hypothetical adult park. Why it should be added to to Pleasure Island. Man, this Baymax is doing good. Come on. Alright, first or second, because he was glitching. Yes! Alright. And now listening to the audio, the muses from Hercules would be a great addition. They'd be a great addition to the land in question. So yeah, this is like, the more I think about it, like, this park could be a success. It could be a success. It would just have to hammer in so hard on it's for 18 and up. And I'm not saying that just to say like it has to be like in a raunchy or what's the word I'm looking for? Sexual way. Not like that. It doesn't have to be in a sexual way. No. But it just needs to be like more intense, to where younger audiences it's not best for them they're not meant to handle something at this level. Like, granted, there are kids that get on Cedar Point rides, but these rides at this Pleasure Island need to have that like height difference where it's like like this is for taller, older people. Now, of course, there are adults that are short. Of course, that's very true. So, that will unfortunately be a disadvantage for them, and I apologize. But that, yeah, Pleasure Island honestly is one idea that I think could work for a new park. Like, if Disney were to make one. If Disney were to make a new park, that's one. And as I stated, a dedicated Marvel park would be cool, or a full-on dedicated Star Wars park. That would be so great, and that would be excellent. And if I had it my way, I would take Galaxy's Edge out of Hollywood Studios, like take Batu out of there, move it to the new Disney park, and have that have that be be the opening to the sequel trilogy era, and where you can go to other planets from there. For example, Star Killer Base / Ilum, Jakku, and stuff like that. But not just the sequel trilogy. You mark my words, not just the sequel trilogy. The original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Have that in there. And, of course, I am including it, have the High Republic in there. Have the High Republic in that somewhere in that park as well. Oh, and if they finally choose to, if they start going into High Republic, it can bring not the High Republic, Old Republic, sorry. The Old Republic, put that also in there. Put it in there as well.
Let's do this.
So, and then as for a Marvel park, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. I would say if you're gonna make it a park, make it themed around not just a single Marvel universe. Have it be like you're in the nexus of all realities. Where it's like we're at a center point in the multiverse where you can see multiple worlds, so that you're not just seeing Marvel Earth 19999999999, aka as they choose to call it, the 616 cinematic universe. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure Spider-Verse is off the table. Like, any references to Spider-Verse is off the table. Oh, because that's Sony's baby. And I don't care what nobody says. Sony would rather go, or the executives and stuff, they'd rather go bankrupt. They'd rather go absolute bankrupt before they sell Spider-Man. Before they sell the rights to Spider-Man, they'd rather go broke. They'd rather literally go broke and go bankrupt. I don't see a scenario where they'd sell Spider-Man otherwise, unless like, for example, if like Disney were to sell themselves to Sony and stuff, like, there's darn near no way. There's no way they give up Spider-Man in my head for anything. So what else? Like, so have this Marvel park be the nexus of all realities. Have the mascot spot of the park be Avengers Tower, I'd probably say. Have it be Avengers Tower, or I would say Avengers Tower, because that's the most recognizable MCU thing, but probably the most because I feel like if you do Yggdrasil in homage to Loki, that's almost too much like the Tree of Life. I would say that's almost too much like the Tree of Life. If you did Avengers Mansion, I think that could work. If they made it Avengers Mansion instead of Avengers Tower, that could work. They could make it the Baxter Building, but they'd have to make it so stylized. They'd have to stylize it in a way where it's unforgettable, in my eyes, in order to do it. Okay.
Let's
about to be at the 5-minute mark for this hour-long video. But yeah, that's pretty much a lot of my thoughts, at least on this crazy idea to have a theme park in Disney focused solely for adults.
Practiced a lot for this.
So
This car, she needs to be driven.
now, could there be a solely Pixar park? Sure, absolutely. I just don't. I think it. Okay, I think it would benefit. I think it would benefit Pixar because so many people equate Pixar and Disney to the same thing when they're not the same thing. A Disney movie and a Pixar movie are not the same thing. So it would benefit Pixar to me to have the difference and to have a park solely for them, and especially since right now there's Pixar Pier, which is a single spot in a single small corner of Hollywood Studios dedicated to Pixar characters, and there's Toy Story Land, of course, but we need more. Okay, Monsters Inc. is coming to Hollywood Studios as well. So, as a matter of fact, like if I had my way, I'd take out Galaxy's Edge to make the Star Wars park and make Galaxy's Edge a full Pixar area. I'd make it a full Pixar area. Like, Monsters Inc. would still be where it's going to be over in the Muppets section, but have, like, there's Toy Story Land, and have Toy Story Land connect to have it either. I would rather put Bugs Life back in I'd rather put Bugs Life back in Animal Kingdom, since it's tough to be a bug has left Animal Kingdom. But I am excited for what Zootopia experience is going to take its place. I am excited for that, and I'm excited for Zootopia 2. I'm excited for that. Let's see, like, what would I connect Toy Story Land with? I'm like, Wall-E. I think Wall-E could be possibly the almost easiest one to plop in that spot. But because Toy Story Land Disneyland has Cars World. It has the Cars area. So I'm like, I'd rather keep Cars over there. I'd keep Cars in Disneyland so that it has its own thing. Gives you a reason to go over there, which is why I really want to go to Disneyland at some point, again, after 2 decades. And so I would honestly want to put, like, it's easy to put the popular ones there, but I would also want some representation of the ones that not everyone thinks of, like Brave, The Good Dinosaur, Elemental, Turning Red, Luca, Soul, Elio coming up. Like, I would want that to be, like, I would want it to be not just the most popular one. Like, Toy Story can be the flagship spot right there, but next to it or going into Galaxy's Edge, what it is now, I would make it like almost the rest of Pixar with their own rides and stuff and own experiences. But that's just how my brain thought process is. Thank you, Legends, so much for watching this video up to this point. If you have ideas, like if you could make your own Disney theme park, what would you do? How would you do it? How many rides would you have? What characters would you want to show up in there? If you wanted to make a adult themed only park, how would you do it? Please let me know down below. Because just thinking of it, like, I had so much fun thinking about it and how it could work, even in this video. So comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Hope you enjoyed it. React to my madness. Share with me your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.